Good evening. Welcome to the deadline day stream. Nottingham Forest are here signing players left, right, and centre. And I'm going to be bringing you through the latest. We love a bit of transfer news, don't we? And I'm going to adjust my camera. You can see I've got my red shirt on. You can my red tie. You can see I've got my suit shirt on, my tie on. We're ready for deadline day. Nottingham Forest are making a lot of signings, and a lot of signings that I would say are absolutely quality, as a certain Dan would say as well. So shout out to Dan there. I hope you're doing well. Talk Forest TV, my friend. Kev, good to see you. Evening. And yeah, massive day of transfer news for Forest. And what a window it is, Paz LeBron. Seriously, the most crazy window I think we'll ever see until we break it next year again, obviously. Now, obviously, with all the good signings comes the loss of Brennan Johnson, moving to Spurs as part of, I think it was a £47.5 million deal. So it's, I'm going to open by saying that I think that Brennan Johnson has been one of the most significant players in Forest recent history, you would say. And, the work that he did to get us promoted alongside many of his other colleagues, but him specifically, with the amount of goals he scored, the amount of assists he got, and just how well he worked with Jed Spence down that right wing was really something to see. So thank you, Brennan Johnson. You'll never see this. I don't know if anyone who knows will even see this, but thank you for everything you did. For all the goals you scored, for all the assists you got, the amount of celebrations we've had, all the good times. Thank you, and good luck at Spurs, because we'll all be watching on. And my opinion, it's really sad. It's really sad. But 47.5 million is not the kind of money that Forest can turn down. We're a club now where if we want to, move forward, and we want players like Sangare, who's about to be announced, by the way, in not very long, then we have to make these sacrifices. And unfortunately, Johnson was that. But at the same time, he's moving on in his career and we're moving on in ours. It's almost like the Fast and Furious scene where Paul Walker is kind of driving alongside Vin Diesel, and then they move left and right. It's just how it goes. That's just football. So it's never nice to lose an academy graduate that's gone on to achieve things that I think every Forest fan and player would ever dream of achieving, getting your team back to the top flight after so many years of hurt. And he did that. So he can leave with his head held high. We can leave, with many good memories of him, but we can also leave knowing that financially, we are very secure. We're very secure. And not just that, but we've brought in a lot of good players. Callum Hudson-Odoi, who kind of plays in that area. Obviously, everyone knows how good Elanga is anyway. We've already got Taiwo. So you're bringing in your Hudson-Odois, you're bringing in your Tavareses, your Dominguez, who's coming, or he's actually here now. Divock Origi, he's going to be signing very soon. Odysseus Vlachodimos will also be signing very soon. Andrew Omar Bamidele will also join from Norwich. It's here we go from Fabrizio Romano. So the young 21-year-old centre-back is joining Nottingham Forest. He will join, I can imagine, probably on a 5-year deal. And this is interesting. It's exciting, isn't it? And as I say, that's Andrew Omar Bamidele. I hope I've got the name right there. And he's got the here we go. So that's another centre-back signing for Nottingham Forest. He doesn't need to be registered. And I think we're probably going to, I don't know how much the fee will be, but it'll be probably around below £20 million, I'm thinking, because Trevor Chalobah rejected Forest earlier in the day. So now they've moved on to their second target, who they've kind of been targeting since the winter, actually, Andrew Omar Bamidele. So that's the latest for you. That's the latest. Here we go. Sangare already got here we go. Origi already got here we go. So as far as I'm aware now, Forest, unless they make late-minute changes and they want to bring in someone else, there should be 3 more players in. So for anybody just joining, that'll be, 4 more players. Divock Origi, Odysseus Vlachodimos, Andrew Omar Bamidele, and lastly, the main man that you've all been waiting for, Ibrahim Sangare. So, exciting night. I'm going to be bringing you through all the latest transfer news till 11 o'clock this evening. So stick around, drop a subscribe, and please like, comment, and share. If you can share, I'd really appreciate it. It would really mean a lot to me. So I haven't got a yellow tie on. No, I've got my red one on. Maybe at 10 o'clock, I'll put the 11 o'clock. I'll put the deadline day tie on. But in order for me to put a deadline day tie on, I need some of you to come and join me and talk about some of the signings. I can't do it on my own. So if you want to get involved, if you want to give your opinions, and if you want to talk a bit of Forest, make sure you drop a comment and I'll get you on the stream ASAP. Okay? Let me know. So I'll go back to the comments. We need a gold banner. We need a gold banner and a yellow tie, don't we? We need it. Eve, I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. I'm all good. I hope you're doing well as well. It's been an interesting day, hasn't it, Eve? To be honest, what can we say? It's been an interesting day. So Game 316. Hope you're doing well, my friend Peter. Hope you're good, enjoying the day. Shadow Kai. I don't know if we're broke again. I don't think we're broke again by any means. 35 mil plus in euros. So it's probably around 30 million pounds. A lot of it has been spent, but we also had some leeway with FFP. And also you've got to think of loans going out as well. There's going to be loan fees involved with that. And then there might be permanent outgoings by the end of this evening. But there should be a couple of more outgoings, I'm thinking. So we'll see how that goes. Do we have a new striker yet? At the moment, no. We're still waiting. Divock Origi, it looks like, is going to be the new sort of backup striker. So that'll be interesting. Glad to see you on. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Robert. It's good to be back. And if you are enjoying the content, remember, you can just drop us a subscribe, a like. And as I say, please do share it to any relevant places you can, whether that be, I don't know, your local Facebook groups, Twitter. Share it absolutely everywhere, because we're trying to get as many Forest fans as we can to listen to the latest transfer news. So looking at what Fabrizio has said at the moment, Forest have agreed to sign the deal with Norwich for Andrew Omobamidele, and Norwich have accepted the proposal. Here we go. And he's undergoing medical tests right this very moment. So whether he's actually doing it in Nottingham or not, I'm not too sure. But either way, Forest are going to have another new centre-back. And also, the two new centre-backs, Murillo and Omobamidele, it's a long name, both of them don't have to be registered. So at the moment, Forest can continue to have the amount of defenders that they have with the likes of Felipe and Bolly and even McKenna, near Kate. They can still have all these players, but also have Murillo and Omobamidele simply because of the fact that they don't need registering as they're under 21s. So that'll be the case till next season. And then I can imagine a couple of players will depart. So defensively, really good business by Forest. Really, really good business by Forest. All that money spent last year, and we may end up with only 3 of them in the 11. It's crazy, isn't it? But it just happens to be how it goes. At the end of the day, football is very unpredictable at times. A lot of people, when Remo Freuler came, thought this guy's the next big thing, and look at what he did at Atalanta, but it just didn't work out. His style of football didn't work out with us. And now Forest have gone and made another statement signing with the likes of Sangare. So, Sangare is someone that will be that number 6 that the team need, and he's played at the highest level. I mean, PSV were in for Champions League football before he left, and I've had the privilege of actually watching him live, because I watched him live at the PSV Forest game, and people will say, "Oh, I don't know if he was that good," or because they think a midfielder is someone that just goes and shoots from 30 yards and scores and does all that kind of stuff. But he's a number 6. He's your very, very traditional number 6. He's strong. He puts in an interception, and it was pre-season, so I'm not going to judge him too much there. But he's a good passer. He's just good at getting the ball forward and breaking down counter-attacks. And if him and Dominguez or Mangala or whoever's next to him can do that, it allows Forest more formational versatility. They can have the ability to go and play a 4-2-3-1 and actually have it be effective. They can go and play teams like Manchester City and Arsenal with revoked confidence. And yes, it'll be difficult because Man City have got the world's best midfield, or one of, if you don't count Real Madrid. But, the likes of Arsenal, who in the defensive area, or the midfield area, should I say, completely overturned us. Now, Forest can challenge them. They can really challenge them. And they've got a lot of midfielders coming in, and they're absolutely quality. So I'm happy. They brought in, this is it, right? They brought in a backup for, let's start from the goalkeeper. They've brought in what I can assume is going to be the first team goalkeeper, Odysseus Vlachodimos. That's one. They brought in 2 new centre-backs. to replace what you could assume to be, if we're going to go for a back five, McKenna and Worrell, because Murillo's left-footed, Omobamidele's right-footed. They brought in a left back because we've needed a left back with Omar Richards' absence, and Harry Toffolo's likelihood he's going to be done for. Well, I say a likelihood. There's an alleged betting problem that he was involved with. He breached certain rules, the FA have said. So they're waiting on a verdict for that. But there's a potential he could see a ban. So you brought in Tavares on the left. On the right-hand side, there's not exactly a shortage, but Serge Aurier has offers from Saudi Arabia, and their window is still open. I think it's until the 10th or the 20th of September. So not only have you got that, you've brought in Montiel for that. You've brought in Ola Aina, who can play either left or right side. So you've got that versatility. As I say, you've got Murillo and Omobamidele as your centre-backs that you brought in. Now in the midfield, let's have a look. You've brought in Sangare. You've brought in Dominguez. You've brought in Callum Hudson-Odoi, who, again, can play centre attacking midfielder like where Morgan Gibbs-White plays. He can play right mid. He's actually played left wing-back before for Chelsea as well. Not that I could ever see him playing there. So you've brought in a lot of quality players to cover all these areas. And Forest have looked and they've said, right, depth-wise, at the moment, we're simply not strong enough. And they've gone and they've done smart business, astute business, because they've looked and they've said, right, okay, well, we could, if we wanted to, bring in two centre-backs who could take up spaces in the 25-man squad this year, but then you still have the problem of depth when you take out two other players from the 25-man squad from that position or another place. So they brought in two players for centre-back that don't need registering, young players with lots of potential for good fees, right? That's smart business. And people at the first were saying, but Ross Wilson, he's not done anything right. He can't get it right. He's not signed anyone yet. We're a week in and he hasn't signed anyone. It's gone down to the wire, and maybe it's a little bit later than what most would have wanted. But they've signed the players that they needed to sign. And look, Forest have pulled off arguably one of the most difficult deals of the transfer window for any Premier League team, in the fact that they've signed Ibrahim Sangare, who was going to play Champions League football, and have now brought him to Nottingham, where he's not going to be playing that. He's going to be potentially fighting relegation. That's the standard that we've set now as a football club. Forest have gone from, from a year, 2-3 years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago, signing the likes of Bentner and, all the rubbish that they've had over the years, to now being a club that's signing Champions League standard players. You've signed a Europa League winning player. You've signed a World Cup winning player in Montiel. You've signed a player that was just about to play Champions League in Sangare. You've signed a player that's won the Champions League in Callum Hudson-Odoi. You've signed a player that's played in the Champions League in Elanga. You've signed so many good players. So many good players. Nuno Tavares playing at the top level in France. And okay, there's always the thing of, but the attitude problem against Forest years ago. But this is a new start for him. And he's a Forest player, so you've got to get behind him at least. So let me know what you guys are thinking. But I just think the recruitment has been absolutely spot on. And, I think sometimes you get caught up in it and you do get overexcited. And I'm probably overexcited now, because last year we were excited with the arrivals of the likes of Shelvey, and Chris Wood. And, in fairness to Chris Wood, I think he'll score a few goals this season and he will have a role to play. But we got excited about the likes of John Joe Shelvey. But you can tell that the recruitment is different. And I can imagine that George Sirianos has had a profound positive impact on recruitment at the club since he arrived back on a consultancy basis. And seeing him at the ground just a week ago and speaking to him was really good. And he's got a lot of plans for this club, obviously, for as long as he continues to consult here. So it's exciting. It's really, really exciting. But it's deadline day, and that's what we love. So we love the exciting stuff, and I just love deadline day. It's just the most exciting time. We can talk about all the latest transfer news. Now, let's have a look at some of the comments. Batshuayi. It could be like the last transfer window, and who knows, we could just try and go for him again. But at the moment, some reports say that they were waiting for Forest representatives to call them back about Batshuayi, and others said that they just couldn't seal a deal at all. They could not agree on a fee. So I don't think Batshuayi will come to Forest. I'm pretty sure that is done it's dead in the dirt now. and Divock Origi will be the man that's coming. So he's had a medical in a secret place, Fabrizio Romano says. So it could be a park in West Bridgeford. It could be on top of the Shard in London. You just don't know. Eve here. I had a cry earlier when I felt like people were ganging up on me because of my opinion. Someone called me a brick wall. At the end of the day, Eve, we all have opinions on things, and not everybody has to agree on them. But it would just be nice if we could live in a world where we don't all have to agree, but we can all get on. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. But stick with your opinion, Eve, because your opinion is your opinion. Don't feel bullied into thinking what someone else thinks. And, at the end of the day, Johnson leaving is, for me, I think as all Forest fans, we can't hold anything against him because he's done what we needed him to do at the times we needed him most. And, it's proven that without his goals, we'd be relegated. 3 games I always mention, Leeds, Leicester and Everton. You'd be relegated without those goals. So fair play to Johnson. I just wish him all the best. And if you let me know what your thoughts are. What are your thoughts on Brennan Johnson leaving Forest, everyone? 47 million. It's a lot of money. What should Forest have accepted that, or should they have kind of held on to him? Sophie Roby, I hope you're doing well. When do you think the other signings will be officially announced? I've got a feeling that they're probably going to be announced within the next half an hour. And then I don't know why, but I think the Forest admin team are going to be really, really harsh and say that maybe they're going to do an announcement probably last minute. It just wouldn't surprise me. It'll get your heart going, won't it? So that will be exciting. Thoughts on Joe Worrell's red card? I wasn't at the game, but I did manage to look back at the highlights, and I just think the officiating for the whole day was really laughable. Because I've never really had moans about referees too much because, about Premier League football. I've had my own moments in Saturday League, but for Forest, because I do just feel that the more you moan about it, the less that actually gets done, because we're so focused on refereeing performance where we know we let ourselves down a lot as well in many respects, despite the performance. But that was one of those games where I can probably say I felt like we were cheated out of 3 points. I felt like that at Forest versus Brentford last year when Brentford got, I think it was the penalty. You just don't feel, it's just not nice. It's just not nice. And I did feel that Forest were cheated out of a game the other day. And that's upsetting, really, because they played all right. And, they got 2 early goals against United. But perhaps we peaked too early. But even if we did peak too early, I still think we should have got a point. And I think that the referee, whether he did it on purpose, I doubt it. But it was just poor refereeing. So were Forest cheated out of points? Yeah, I think so. So and was Joe Worrell right to have been given a red card? No, I think I've seen them given as yellows, and I just don't. I don't think it was a red for me. But that's just how football goes. He'll be back soon, and hopefully see him, as soon as. Paz Lebon, good to lose Brennan Johnson. When you reinvest properly, you just can't complain. This is the thing with it for me, because it's almost like a bribe. I've described it as to a few friends. Despite the fact that Brennan Johnson is leaving, and he's leaving for, after getting us where we need to be, as I say, and, giving us many happy memories, there's also the other side to it where you go, he's leaving, but in return, we're going to get the Europe top class, top European class number 6 that we need, that we desire, because look at all these teams that are playing good at the moment, that have got brilliant number 6s. Brighton had it with the likes of Caicedo, who's like defensive midfielder. Fulham have it with Palhinha, and Man City have it with Rodri. Chelsea kind of now have it with Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. So all these good teams have a good number 6, good midfields, and we need someone who allows us that formational versatility, especially if we're looking at seriously contending in this league, because the overall ambition for Forest shouldn't simply be staying in the Premier League after a window like this. It should be moving up, and it's not going to happen at once. And I hope that Steve Cooper is offered the leniency of having all these players, because at the end of the day, they're not all going to settle in at once, and this will take time, and there will be games where you think, how on earth we lost that? We've signed all these players, but it's not as easy as that. So I hope that Steve Cooper's given that versatility. Versatility, that leniency, and hopefully we can, we can then celebrate some good wins and move up in the table a little bit. So let's see how it goes. But at the moment, Forest, the next signings they're going to make, Divock Origi, Odysseus Vlachodimos, Andrew Omobamidele, and Ibrahim Sangare. 4 more players coming in at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see. And Origi's going to be joining on loan. Vlachodimos on a permanent deal. At the moment, it looks like Omobamidele on a permanent deal, but we don't know just yet. And Origi will have a buy option as well included. So you've got to remember, Tavares on loan, Origi on loan at the moment as things stand. So Forest working around FFP quite well and actually saving some of the Brennan Johnson money, I can imagine. I can't imagine they've spent it all at once. But it was all done pretty quickly, wasn't it? As soon as Brennan Johnson was here we go, gone to Spurs, it was straight away Sangare to Forest is here we go as well. So it's been an interesting window so far, hasn't it? Let's be honest. Let me all know what you're thinking as well. Let me all know what you're thinking. And also, I'm looking for people to come on and chat to me. So please feel free to join in. I'm going to quickly put an invite link into the comments. So I'll put an invite link in there. And let me know if you can see the invite link. It is in the bio, I believe. So I'm just going to pin it here. Okay. So then, let me know if you want to join. There is a pinned invite link. If you want to join, just click it, and we'll be able to get you on the stream. So let's see. 26 of you in at the moment. Please remember to share the video, like and comment also. It's deadline day. It's the best day of the year. Well, sort of. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? We're waiting on the latest news for Nottingham Forest. And Dan here. Norwich centre-back apparently travelling for a medical. How the heck is that going to be done with only an hour and a half left? Well, that's a deal sheet. Now, deal sheets are important because I think it allows the club to basically get a deal done until around 1 o'clock in the morning, I think it is. I don't know the exact rules on it, so don't quote me. But if a club has the deal sheet and basically says that the deal is done and that they've got everything agreed between the clubs, then they have a little bit more time to actually sign the papers and then announce it officially. So who knows? This all could have been done earlier in the day. And remember, journalists are fed often on a delayed loop. So what they're told could have happened hours ago. And also traveling for a medical, he could have his medical anywhere. This is what is important to remember. You can have a medical absolutely anywhere. You could have your medical in London, like I think Sangare had his medical, or he had his meetings in London, and then they made him travel down. But then some players will have their medical in, he could have had it in Norwich and then travel down to sign the contract. So there's lots of different ways of getting it done, but it's really interesting transfer business. I found it quite interesting. And it's certainly been an interesting window, but I'm glad that Hudson-Odoi signed, because when I first said it in early June, I don't think people really believed me. So it's nice to get that one over the line. But there you go. Tom Capon, I hope you're doing well, my friend. Henry, will any new players get a start tomorrow? I'm not sure. I think Tavares would probably be registered. Dominguez and Hudson-Odoi maybe. As for the new guys in Omobamidele and Vlachodimos, Origi and Sangare, I can't see it just because of how late in the day it is. I just can't see it being registered. So Winfield here, this is it on the deal sheets. Deal sheet can be signed between 9 and 11 o'clock. Needs to be received by 11. Allows until 1 for remaining documentation to be sent. So I'm going to favourite that comment. Thank you very much. Appreciate you sending that in. So there you go. So essentially, between now and 11 o'clock, a team can send in that deal sheet, which allows them till 1 o'clock. So a little bit more leniency there. Now, just waiting to see any more news, Forest related. Nothing at the moment. And we'll keep you updated, though. Do stick along on the stream. And even if you have got us in the background, do keep listening and we'll try and bring you the latest. As long as Hudson-Odoi stays fit, it's a quality signing. Completely agree. I think it's. I think Sky were reporting up to £8 million, but I think some others reporting £5 million. So it's not a lot of money for a player that is, I think, only 22, 23. Lots of potential. And as I say, yeah, as you say, sorry, if he stays fit, he could be really, really dangerous. And he just needs to find his feet again. And working with his former coach, Steve Cooper, will definitely help that. So let's wait and see how that goes. Vern Gossage, I hope you're doing well. Good evening. Welcome to the stream. It's exciting, isn't it? Deadline day. And occasionally I will check to look at my phone. So do bear with me. I'm trying to keep up with the latest news. And just remember that there is an invite link just here. If you want to join in the stream, click this link here. Let's have a chat because I'm looking for people to talk to over the next hour and a half that we're streaming. We're streaming till 11 o'clock, till the deadline shuts. And deadline day is officially over. And then I can get some rest and head to Stamford Bridge tomorrow. That'll be exciting, won't it? Am I a fan of Coles? Oh, George, wait. Is that the microphones or is that Cole Palmer? Let me know. Cole Palmer's a good player. Good signing for Chelsea. So, won't have any of tonight's players, which is annoying. Yeah, for tomorrow, it's slightly annoying. But we'll have them for the next game. So, yeah, that's good. Maybe they're filming a new signing video for Sangare. I mean, the lights have been on and they've been flashing at the City Ground. I've just spoken to my dad. Sorry, not my dad. A friend of mine. My dad lives near there, but a friend of mine, and they sent me a video of it, and I'm sure you've all seen a video circulating as well. So, yeah, the lights are on at the City Ground, flickering. So I can imagine that a signing video is being made for Sangare, kind of similar to how Morgan Gibbs-White's was last year. Exciting stuff. 5 million, yeah. And yeah, they rejected a £70 million bid from Bayern a couple of years ago, 2020. So how far Hudson-Odoi has come, and it's been difficult for him, but hopefully he finds his feet at Forest. And this is a new start for him, and he can find his ways again. Been thinking, will we see the 5-2-3 low block tomorrow? I think, look, I'm going to be honest. I do think we'll probably see a 5-2-3 tomorrow, and we'll probably see a back 3-5 again. But at the same time, I don't think Cooper has many choices just because of the registration deadline. So, yeah, give it time. But it's a slow transition into that 4-2-3-1. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on there. If you do want to join the stream, though, please let me know, or just text me in the private chat if you're in the lobby, because I will need to make sure that you are definitely a real person and you're not here to troll. So I will need cameras on if that's okay for anybody that's wishing to join the stream. Am I a fan of coleslaw? It's all right, yeah. Yeah. Colin Hudson-Odoi wants to be with his mate Morgan Gibbs-White. Yeah, they're friends as well, which is always helpful. Having that friendship is always really helpful to to a player to improve. So it'd be really good to see them playing together. Result tomorrow. If you know me, you know I don't give away my score predictions before the game ever, not even mid-game. So I won't be saying anything on that at the moment. And I'm just going to bring in a guest in just a moment's time. I'm going to answer one last question. I want you to net tomorrow. What do you reckon? Well, I'm not going to say any recommendations for bets or anything. So if you want to put a bet on it, then do that. Bet responsibly. But I want you to net tomorrow. I'm going to say yes. He loves a goal at Chelsea, doesn't he? And yes, I am going to the Chelsea game. I'll be leaving about 9:30 tomorrow morning and heading down to Stamford Bridge to do some commentary. So let's bring in our a guest for today's deadline day stream, and he's going to come and join us for a couple of minutes. How you doing, my friend? You okay?
How you doing, mate? Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you all good. How are you doing?
Sorry, I'm in my car. I'm just on the way home. I'm just in my car. That's the lighting shit. How are you? Anyway, I've been following you all day pretty much on the thing, so keep it all up, mate. You're doing really well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, what's your name? Thank you so much. Thank you for joining.
James. My name's James. Yeah.
Yeah, great to have you. So James, how are you feeling about today overall?
You know what? I'm fairly sad in some ways because of Johnson, but it's such a difficult thing to get past, isn't it? Because we've brought in so many good players from it. It's just, yeah, it's a difficult one. But what do you think? Do you think it was a good idea in the end, or?
It's hard, isn't it? Because we don't want to let him go ever. I don't think. I think you would have wanted to keep him and then kind of have all these players with him, but you just know that's not possible. So it's kind of, is it the lesser of two evils? I don't really know how to describe it really, but it's a hard one. But can Forest realistically, at this point in time, can we reject £45.5 million for a player like Brennan Johnson?
Oh, it's mental, isn't it? Because I've spoken to a few people, and I'm in Birmingham, but I was born in Nottingham, so I'm obviously a Forest fan. But no one around me thinks he's worth 45-50 million at all. So it's like, if he isn't worth it, and we're getting that much for him, and we're bringing in Hudson-Odoi for 5 to 8 million, you're right. If he stays fit, well, it could be brilliant. But it's yeah.
So, okay, so let's talk about today's market then. So there's a lot of people that will say he's not worth that kind of money, but I would put forward the argument. I think any other Forest fan could use this and say, well, Anthony Gordon, a lot of people have used him as an example, is a brilliant, brilliant footballer. I think he's going to have a great season this year. But he has less goal contributions in a couple of seasons than Brennan Johnson did last season alone. But he's worth 45 million, and Brennan Johnson's now sold for 45 million. So if Everton can sell him, Gordon, for that much money, why can't we sell Johnson for that much money? And some people have said to me that they actually think that we got less for Brennan Johnson than we should have based on his potential.
I think, what I think is, I think a lot of people, it's very biased. I think a lot of people, to some degree, just have like an agenda against, no, I don't want to say agenda because that puts it all on, but almost they let these bigger clubs who have been around in the Prem for longer sell these players for more money, but they kind of hate it when we sell a homegrown talent for so much. Almost. I don't know if that's just me thinking that, but it's a weird one, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that there is like a slight disliking, especially from like the big six, or the big six as fans for kind of the smaller teams that do manage to get a lot of money for their players. But you can't hate a smaller team wanting to get as much money as they can because of the fact that, well, they need it really. They need it more than these other teams. Chelsea have spent nearly £1 billion this window, and Forest have spent a fraction of that, and will get a lot of coverage from the likes of TalkSport saying they spent ridiculous money on deadline day. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But just another thing as well, Benfica goalkeeper Odysseus Vlachodimos, according to Game 316, has actually been seen walking into the City ground now. It's on Sky News. So what do you think about bringing in another goalkeeper? So is it Matt Turner becoming number 2?
I was going to ask you this question because it's really difficult, because what I've seen and what I've heard on like your Twitter and all that, it's that this, I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not going to try, but this Benfica keeper is outstanding and he should take Turner's spot. But I was someone who didn't really want Turner in. I was one of these who I just wanted Dean Henderson back, and it still hurts me that he's signed for Palace to some degree. But I think Matt Turner's been brilliant since he's come in. I think he was really unlucky with some of the goals he's conceded. Saka's goal on the opening day of the season, I think 90% of keepers aren't saving it. And is the first one against Arsenal, it deflected off Worrell, I think it was. So it was unfortunate. But I think he's made brilliant saves since he's come in. So I think Cooper will probably end up playing Turner first, and then he'll give him a chance, and we'll have to see. But what do you think? Do you reckon he'll take Turner's spot?
It's hard to say really, because I think that Cooper will give anybody a chance to take someone's spot, but I don't think he's just going to give it to them. I think you have to earn that. The only real time where I can say maybe Cooper did just bring someone back into the squad and didn't really make them work back for their position was, if you remember, Brice Samba after his suspension, and he just basically brought him back in as soon as he was done, even though Horvath was doing quite a good job. So I do think Turner will still be given chances, but look, Vlachodimos is someone who's got a lot of experience. Panathinaikos, that's why he doesn't want to go to Olympiacos on loan, because of his links to Panathinaikos, and then playing for Benfica. And some people in Portugal saying that he's fell out with the coach and that's why he's moving now. So he's bringing a wealth of experience. So I can't imagine him being second fiddle to Matt Turner, but it's good to have that competition if you've got two goalkeepers who are both equally quite good and capable of playing that number one. That's good to have. But the question I would ask is, where's Ethan Horvath going to go? Because at some point, surely he's got to be leaving. He's not going to be a third keeper, is he?
I was so shocked when Luton didn't sign him, to be fair, because, I mean, he played almost every game for them, didn't he, or something, and he kept a decent amount of clean sheets. And it's a shame because in the Championship, I think he's a really good keeper. I think he can get into most Championship sides. But, I mean, pre-season, he didn't, from what I watched anyway, he didn't look amazing. He made a few mistakes, and I think it killed any kind of chance he potentially has in the Prem. But, I mean, we've got to either loan him out or sell him. Because, I mean, George Shelvey, he looks like a good keeper coming up as well. And I'd almost rather give him a chance than Ethan. But it's just a shame. It's just one of them again. I mean, has he been linked with anyone apart from Luton at the very start?
I've not seen anything. I've not seen much about him. But so would you be looking to loan him, or would you be looking for permanent sale?
I think I'll probably sell him at this point. I would, because I think with Turner and the Benfica keeper and then the academy keepers, I think we have got enough depth in that sense. And yeah, I don't know. Would you sell him or would you loan him?
At the moment, I'd probably sell him. I just don't think we really need him. I mean, George Shelvey should be getting a loan. We've still got Wayne Hennessy. People got to remember.
Oh, do you know, I forgot that.
people forget about Wayne Hennessy. So he's still at the moment third keeper. So we've got depth in that kind of area. So I don't see the reason for keeping Horvath personally. But everyone each to their own and everything. But for me, no, I think he's not really good enough to be still at Forest, and he, for his own sake, go and get some game time in the Championship. But if we want to move on as a Premier League team, we can't hold any sentimentality, and we can't look back at good games that he's played well for us, because it's about now in the Prem. So one last question then. What do you think about the team's depth? Because they're bringing in Murillo, but they're bringing in Omobamidele from Norwich. Yeah. They brought in two centre-backs who don't need to be registered. So how does that reflect on the recruitment this year? Because it seems quite good, and it seems like they're building a lot of depth in positions while also bringing in first-teamers.
I think at the start I was a bit worried because obviously we had a lot of ins and outs in the kind of the boardroom area, and I can't remember who it was. It was, what's his name, the American, Dane Murphy or someone. He obviously left at the end of last season, the start of this one. And we brought in Ross Wilson, and I mean, he had a lot of hate against him, Ross Wilson did, especially from previous fans and that. And I think overall we've left it late, but I think the business we've done, I prefer it to what we did last year, where we kind of we almost signed everyone and anyone. But I mean, our squad depth, I think it's a lot better now. I think midfield we're fairly covered in centre midfield, because we've got, I mean, I worry for like people like Ryan Yates almost, because I love Yates. He's my favourite player and he has been for many seasons. But is he going to get in over Sangria and Danilo and all these other midfielders? Like, it's overall, I think it's good. I think we need another backup striker, because I think Origi's a good one on loan. I always liked him, to be fair, at Liverpool. But yeah, wingers I'm a bit unsure about, because we've only really got Alanga. Gibbs White can play there, I guess, and Hudson-Odoi. But yeah.
Well, at the moment, there's a little thing going on, and the Daily Mail, Paul Newman from the Daily Mail, has quoted, and he's not said anything more than this. Sounds like yet another shit show behind the scenes from Daniel Levy, the Spurs footballing director. What could that mean? What could that mean?
I mean, if they've messed up the Johnson deal, what does happen with us with the FFP? Will we, because if we've signed all these midfielders, the like the PSV midfielder, and we end up keeping Johnson, what will happen with us there? Will we go over it or?
Well, this is a very good question. At the moment, I would say probably with the Sangare deal that we would actually be going over that FFP guideline, because we'd be spending £30 million on Sangare. You've already spent your money on Murillo. You've got Omobamidele still to come in. So unless you
Yeah.
could get players deals changed to a loan, which you wouldn't be able to with Sangare, I'm not too sure. But it's a bit of a cryptic tweet. It's a bit of a cryptic tweet. But we could, but then as someone rightly says, and Game of 316 rightly says, we could actually sell Brennan Johnson in January still. So there's been nothing reported by any major mainstream media.
Yeah,
So
I am surprised he's not been announced yet, because I mean the Here We Go was hours ago, wasn't it? It was quite a while ago now. I'm surprised because I did have a look, and just as I finished work, I looked at Tottenham's Instagram and Twitter, and there's nothing on there really. But I am shocked the deal's not kind of, because it was only personal terms. I bet to do that to sort out, and they don't seem like they've kind of got it in at this point. But I mean, there's still obviously an hour or so to go, but. I mean, yeah, it'll be an interesting if we don't go over somehow and we manage to keep him, it'll be amazing. But I think you're right, and I think we will end up going over FFP if we don't get rid of him.
Well, I can't see that happening, so there's no need for the panic at the moment. But let's have a look at the new players coming in. And so we don't really know a lot about Andrew Omobamidele. He plays for Norwich, and he's an under 21. He's actually 21 years. So he's only got a year left until he has to be registered. But at the moment, he doesn't have to be. How good do you think it is that Forest now have the depth where they can buy players who they can allow to develop and have significant potential, while also having, providing competition for places?
I think it's brilliant, because if you look at where we were a couple of seasons ago, even a couple of seasons ago, we really struggled with depth, and it was almost like if a big player got injured, we were kind of screwed in that sense. So it's nice to know that we can now sign these players and even attract them to come. I mean, this Norwich defender, I mean, you're right, I don't know much about him myself, but I know he's strong and quick. That's about it. But even bringing in these young players, it's just nice to see that they want to come to us.
So the last question I'll ask you then, what would you rate, if you had to, in fact, you do have to now, I'm going to ask you, what would you rate Forest recruitment this window out of 10 so far?
It's, I go a 7.5. I think we've done quite well, to be fair.
That's quite respectable,
yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, absolutely. I've got one question before I have to go myself. Midfield-wise, because obviously we play with an amount of midfielders, who would you start? Because obviously you've got like Yates, who whenever he comes on, he plays amazingly, seems so. But with these new defensive midfielders, would you start him, or would you start these over him? And
well, look, I mean, every player's got to fight for their position. So when Sangare and, I can't imagine Sangare will have to fight for that position, to be honest, but you will have to put in the hard work in training. So if we're going in a 4-2-3-1 and we've only got the two midfielders, then for me, it would be Sangare and then probably Mangala or Dominguez. But I haven't really seen Dominguez play all that much yet. And, he's played in the Italian league, so we've got to give him a bit of time. But if we've got three in midfield, you could have, this sounds crazy to think we can even say this now. You could have Sangare, Danilo, and then I don't know. You could have Sangare, Danilo, Dominguez if you're going to put Morgan Gibbs-White on a wing. You've got a lot more versatility there. But if you're going in a 4-2-3-1, as I say, probably Sangare and Mangala at the moment, or Sangare and Danilo, and then allow Danilo to play a little bit higher up, more as an 8 rather than a 6, because I don't think that Danilo is a defensive midfielder. I think he's kind of proved that when he's been playing this season. He just doesn't really work in that box-to-box defensive role. So briefly, that would kind of be my midfielders. But But look, it's good that this is the best thing about this, because we can have this conversation and it's difficult to pick a team. That's good, because if it's difficult to pick a team based on the amount of quality that you have available, that tells you that you're building a good side. So I'm glad that it's me not having a headache at the weekend of picking
Yeah.
up, because Steve Cooper's job must be so difficult. So difficult.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna have to shut off anyway, but I really appreciate you taking me and obviously keep it up. And again, like you're doing amazing on everything, man. And I just hope you grow more and more with it all. And I apologize for my lighting because it's been shocking.
No, it's
But
good.
yeah,
It's better than mine. So I appreciate it, my friend. And look, it really means a lot. Your support and everyone who's supporting me on YouTube, it really means a lot, because, you know, making the comeback, I didn't know when it was going to be, but I'm glad it is now. So look, I appreciate your constant support, and hopefully we can chat again soon. Do get in contact with me. And we'll chat
absolutely,
again
mate.
soon.
Absolutely. All right, then, mate.
Top man.
Well, cheers again, and I'll keep watching till you're finishing anyway. So I'll
Thank you very
be
much.
listening. Cheers,
Safe
matey.
journeys. Take care. We'll
See
speak
you later,
soon.
bro.
Thank you very
Bye
much.
bye.
Absolute legend there, James, everyone. And talking a little bit about the Forest transfer news. And remember that you can indeed join me if you want to do a bit of talking on this deal. There is a link pinned in the comments, and that is a link to this stream. Join me. You must be over 16 though to come and join. So join me, have a little chat. Let's talk about Forest. Let's talk about Forest. Let's get back to some of these questions. I'm sorry I missed some of them. Jamie gives his predictions after the game. See, I'm pretty accurate. You know I am. Who do you want to play tomorrow? I probably wouldn't change that much. It's tough. If we've got a centre back ready, you know, in Felipe would be nice. Whether he's fit or not enough to start, I don't really know. I don't think they'd start Murillo. So if I'm being honest, obviously I'd love to see Felipe play. I'd love to see all these players play, but I just don't think they will. So I couldn't really give an answer. But we'll wait and see. I think it'd be nice to see Felipe back, but you never know. There might be a bit of luck, and we can see it. So right, let's have a look at Fabrizio Romano. What's the latest that he's saying? Transfer guru, and it's talking a lot about Liverpool at the moment. Cancelo, Odriozola. Nothing new about Forest at the moment. The last we heard, Andrew Omobamidele. Omobamidele. We're getting there with the names. We're getting there. Danish Red, tough to lose Johnson, but it opens up for a few quality signings. Sangare could be the missing piece that unlocks potential in the team. Truly excited about this transfer. As Dan Taylor says, I think it could very well be the best signing of the Marinakis era. It could very well be. And it could be the most impactful. Because if it means that we can create a sustainable long-term Premier League team because of having someone like him in the midfield, then you're doing something right. Forest have wanted him for the last year and a half, nearly 2 years. And they just haven't been able to pull it off. And now they can. They're in that position to do it. And they've done it with real meaning as well. Doing it on deadline day, though, you've got my heart going there, Forest. You've got my heart going. Paz Lebon, only 7.5 rating for Forest recruitment. Guys, every single one of you, there's 35 at the moment in the watching the stream, couple on Facebook, couple on YouTube. Drop a comment below, a number 1 to 10, a number 1 to 10. What would you rate Nottingham Forest transfer window so far? What would you rate it? I'm going to give it a solid 8.5. I'm going to give it an 8.5. I think it's been brilliant so far. Can't complain at the moment. 8.5. I like it. I think that Forest have done really good. And Darren Hickman says 9.5 he rates out of 10. Nothing new on Divock Origi at the moment. I believe we're probably waiting on the last of his medical. What have you getting in your ratings now? Give me a rating out of 10 for Forest transfer window if you can. And make sure to drop a like as well down below and share this video to any local Facebook groups that you're on, and Instagram and Twitter, all the places you can share it. Let's get as many Forest fans talking as we can. Forest on Sky Sports right now. That's good. Big Mart says 9. Paz Lebon says 9. Forest Fanatic says 8. Mart says 8. Kev says 8. Mike says 9. Sangare and Origi goes up to a 9. Interesting. We've got someone waiting in the lobby. At the moment, it's saying that you've not got a device connected, so you might need your microphone or camera connecting if you're trying to join. And remember, you can join. Click the link in the comments. Let's get you. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. Cameron Fraser says 9.5. Solid bit of business. Peter Welsh says 9. Interesting. So we're all quite highly rating this transfer window. And Forest still on the verge of making more signings. We're waiting on more at the moment. We'll have to wait and see. Greg says 8 at best. Still think we're lacking up top. Origi ain't nothing different from Wood. Interesting, because I had a thought earlier. The part of my brain thought, how different strikers are Wood and Origi? Obviously, they can both find the net quite similar ways. So is Origi really a like for like replacement for Wood? I don't quite know about that. But is he the kind of striker or the profile of striker that Forest really need? What do you think? Are you happy about Origi signing for Forest? Brings a wealth of experience, but not exactly the most consistent. Just scores in the moments where you really need him to. And he did that for Liverpool. Can't wait to see Callum Hudson-Odoi in action. I'm the exact same. If he can keep fit, as we've said kind of throughout the stream, then you've got a real player there. Someone that can, as I say, bring you that versatility, playing in that cam role, playing in that right wing role, and then also someone that can not only bring you the versatility, but bring you the quality, because he is a quality player when he's fit. So, James, I know you're in the lobby at the moment. I'm just going to I am going to kick you out just for a moment. So try and jump back in, and hopefully maybe it's just a little glitch. Let's have a look. Divock Origi, he's only 28 still. Yeah, I think he's 28, 29. So total super sub. Yeah, exactly. Chris Wood, don't forget, does leave next summer. He's only on a 1-year deal. And he has now got a house in Nottingham permanently. So whether he'll sign on for longer than that, I don't know. But he's only got a 1-year deal, Chris Wood. So Origi, if he signs 2 or 3 years, will be replacing Chris Wood come next summer, if Forest choose not to go and get another striker. Origi, a nuisance like Taiwo. Yeah, definitely a nuisance. Obviously, very different players, though. But he's young still, so still got a lot of time left in him. 8.5 says Toby Tails. I hope you're doing well, Toby. Did Origi play for Liverpool at the same time as Awoniyi? I believe he was there at the same time. I think Awoniyi was there in 2019, was it? 2019? And he couldn't play because he had a work permit problem, which is why he got loaned out and then eventually sold. So, yeah, I think so. Guessing Ndidi deal is off. At the moment, we've heard nothing new. So I'm going to, unless a big thing changes, I can't see Ndidi signing at all. I think that the Ndidi deal was probably more than likely smokescreen for the Sangare deal, because let's have it right. If you're looking at number 6s, you know who you're going to choose over Ndidi and Sangare. Sangare every single time. Evening, Kel. I hope you're doing good. It's good to see you. I'm hoping to see you probably at the next home game, which would be Burnley. I think Burnley at home, which would be nice. So hopefully see you then. Good cover for Big T. Taiwo was a cult hero at Anfield. Yeah, exactly. So hopefully he can keep that kind of status going. He knows the Premier League inside out. He didn't really have the best to look at AC Milan, but when you've got someone like Olivier Giroud that's there and all the other forwards they've got, it's hard to break into that team. Luton 1, West Ham 2 is the latest there. That's at Kenilworth Road as well. So VAR saying they've screwed Luton over, which is a shame. And Luton losing, but people saying VAR screwed them over. Interesting. Oh, the City Ground Light's still on. I'm not too sure. I don't live there, but they've definitely been on, and I can imagine they'll probably still be on because the goalkeeper is now there as well, Odysseus Vlachodimos. So 3 players that you've got to announce: Sangare, Vlachodimos, and Origi, and then also Andrew Omobamidele. I can get the names right sometimes. All good. Yes, me and Harry will be there. Good stuff. Well, I'll see you both there anyway. Let's have a look. Handball by Ward-Prowse in the last minute not given. Shocking. VAR. It needs looking into. I'm sorry, but if a robot, this has always been my opinion, a robot should be making the decision rather than a human, because it's going to be a human error that kills it. The robots have a look at it, but the robots aren't the ones making the decisions. If that makes any sense at all. I just don't understand how 3, 4, 5 people in a VAR room can't come to a decision for something as clear as a handball. If the TVs with all their cameras can see it as a handball, how on earth can't VAR with all their cameras see that it's a handball? Some things just don't make sense. And after what Mike Dean said recently, I just lack faith in the PGMOL and actually how they're going to govern refereeing in this country. I just don't think it's up to standard. The best footballing league in the world, and you can't get the best referee in. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. At all. But yeah, commiserations with Luton there. But you've got to be brutal. You know, at the end of the day, we've got to focus on us. Forest have got to focus on us. So, yeah, we'll have to, you know, wish Luton all the best there, but that's unfortunate. Just a reminder as well, you can join me for a chat. Remember, I'm here for another hour, so I don't want to be sat by myself. Come and chat with me. Let's have a chat about the latest signings. Remember, this link here, https://streamyard.com. Join me. Get on this stream. Let's chat about the latest signings. I'm not sure if the City Ground lights are on at the moment. I have no idea. I can imagine they probably will be, though, because there's a few players that the media team are going to have to get doing media for. And the latest from Fabrizio Romano, there's nothing at the moment. And can't quite see anything at the moment. Nothing latest on the likes of Omar Bamidele. Shadow Kai, you do need face cam to talk. Yes, and you need to be over 16. Okay, that's the rules with joining on my chat. So that's that. Eric Ten Hag said we have the best rest money can buy. Yeah, I've seen that. It's a strange thing to say. It's definitely not helping his cause at all. But look, Man United have famously had that bias towards them, and there's a clear bias. You can see it. There's a clear bias. The standard of refereeing just hasn't been good enough. Sky says the lights are on. So that's the latest there. Lights are on at the City Ground. And the latest on Paul Newman as well, who said that there was another shit show from Levi, Daniel Levy at Spurs. And nothing there. I'm guessing it's more of a reflection on Spurs' transfer window rather than anything else. Obviously losing out on Ansu Fati to Brighton. So I'm not sure it's really relevant to the Brennan Johnson deal, but we'll have to wait and see. The latest on Brennan Johnson is from many sources, Sky, Fabrizio Romano. Anyway, you get your transfer news is that he's agreed a £47.5 million straight fee deal to Tottenham Hotspur, where he'll play under Ange Postecoglou, who famously likes his inside forwards, his wingers, that kind of mould into strikers. And they were successful at Celtic with it. And so far, Spurs have been really good. And despite Harry Kane's absence, scoring a lot of goals and goals being a bit more spread out, I think Brennan Johnson will really aid that team. And if he's played in the right place and he's played more as a winger, then you'll definitely get the best out of him. So at the moment, or, you know, I can imagine it's just the announcement that's pending, really, for that deal. So it's interesting. Just can't see all these signings getting done in time. Nerves can't handle this. I'm going to be honest with you, Dan. I think they will do. Remember, deal sheets. It's that thing we were talking about earlier, and we've got it here. And it was from a very kind man, M. Winfield. Deal sheet can be signed 9 o'clock and, well, between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. Needs to be received by 11 o'clock. Allows until 1 o'clock for remaining documentation to be sent. So essentially, as long as the two teams have agreed on the deal, they can fill out a documentation or a deal sheet, and they can send that in to the FA between the hours of 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. And it does have to be received, as I say, by 11 o'clock. And this now gives teams up to 1 o'clock for the players to sign their contract and for the remaining documentation to be officially signed over and sorted. So even if Forest couldn't sign, or Sangare couldn't technically sign his contract until, for example, 21:55, if a deal sheet is sent over before that time or on that time and the FA receive it before 11 o'clock, they then have till 1 o'clock for him to sign his contract. So there's a lot of time and there is leniency in that respect. And the deadline day essentially goes on till 1 in the morning tomorrow in order to actually complete deals. So don't stress. There's going to be more updates coming soon, I'm very sure. The lights are on. So media's already been done. So players have definitely signed. It's just the club hasn't really announced it yet. So don't stress. Wait for that club announcement or wait for a Fabrizio announcement. So let's have a look. So, still has to be in by 11 either way, exactly. And just a bit more leniency with deal sheets. I'm sure you'll probably remember last year that Forest couldn't get the deal sheet done with Chelsea because of a documentation issue that they had, and that's why Batshuayi left and went to Fenerbahce over Forest because of the deal sheet issue. So that was a thing that happened last year, and maybe we'll see Batshuayi at some point in the future if we're linked with him ever again. Who knows? On Bamidele, what are your thoughts on him? He's a tall player. He's quite a strong defender. He's young, so he's got a lot to learn. I don't think he's the finished product yet. I mean, I don't know many players that are at the age of 21, to be honest. And he's got a bit of pace to him. So lots of experience with Norwich. Highly rated prospect, Irish centre-back. International experience as well. Lots of caps there. So I don't know if he's going to be a starter necessarily. But as I say, lots of potential. He's going to be playing against good defenders. He's going to be learning from the likes of Felipe and Bolly and Niakate, the more experienced guys, and he'll be able to use that to aid him in his development. So it's interesting, but I actually think it's a decent deal. What's going on with Johnson at Spurs? Surely they'll confirm it in the next 30 minutes. You would have thought so. They've got 57 minutes to confirm it, and if not, as I say, deal sheet probably sent over to the FA by now, or it will be sent over soon to get that deal done. So let's have a look. Was Origi having a medical secretly for Forest? Yes, he was. Oh, no, if I can get it up, yeah. Was Origi having a secret medical for Forest? He was indeed. It was, I don't know where it was held. It was in a secret location. But yeah, medical for Forest. Pretty much done, I'm guessing. Twice the price of Murillo. Murillo, yeah, a very good Corinthian centre-back, but no experience of English football at the moment. So it'd be good to see what he can do. But as others say, the best left-footed centre-back in Brazil is what some described him as. Those experts in South American football. And any news on McKenna to Celtic? I've not heard anything at the moment. It looks like McKenna could probably be staying, to be honest. But remember, not every transfer window closes today, so there's a chance that he can move out on loan or, potentially permanent deal somewhere else in the coming days as well. But we've got someone waiting in the lobby at the moment, so we're going to speak to James now. James, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Sorry about that a little bit earlier. I've just been having some problems with my other phone. I lost it about a week ago. And then I had to get in touch with my network, and of course they end up blocking my original phone. So I've got to go up to a brand new one. So, but apart from that, I hope that we do good business. I hope we do things right. And I hope Steve Cooper can try different formations, because I just can't think it's all right because he just keep using the same formation. It doesn't always low block. You're going to get all the teams like Chelsea. It's not going to do us any good. We need points.
So what formation do you think that Steve Cooper should start using? Are you not a fan of the back five?
It depends, but I don't mind if he's using a 5-3-2 formation or something. But you've still got to have the defenders and the wingers. So if you're struggling, like a 4-4-2, basically old school formations, what used to work in the olden days. Some old formation, or a 4-4-2 diamond. We could actually use the CM and that's what I use in FIFA anyway. Different formations for different teams. Some works with all teams, So it's basically depends what but I just don't when it's just using the same formation all the time, especially when you go to teams like Man United and Chelsea, and you need to have. We're on different tactics, especially when you're going up against different teams.
So what do you think about Forest transfer window so far? Do you think it's been good?
I think basically we got some good players coming through. I hope we don't make the mistake for years. We did well last year, but we went crazy. The only thing I'm a little disappointed with Steve Cooper, the way he handled the matter with Scarpa, the way he treated him. The way he was treated. We only got him in January last season, and then he was carted off to Olympiacos.
So do you not think that maybe fitness was a bit of a problem for Scarpa? He couldn't really find fitness, and also he had a few personal issues as well. So
Yeah,
was that not a
basically.
factor?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I understand, but the thing is, I still think we could have still given him a chance. And now he's gone to Olympiacos, so we missed out. Basically, we want to what I think, me personally, one of the worst mistakes Forest made by not signing Brennan Loddy. We should have signed him because he's one of the best left backs, left wing backs you can get, and there's a Brazilian. I like the Brazilians. When I play FIFA, so when I'm playing FIFA, I always tend to get good players. I don't go crazy. I just get the ones. I even scouting in Brazil. In Palmeiras, they're on FIFA 23 game, but you can't see. You can get certain players from them, But that's where I like to scout in that area, Brazil, Brazil and Argentina. I understand it's, but what we've done so far is what we've managed to get so far. I'm quite happy with, but only thing is that we don't want to end up down the line. Me personally, no disrespect to Chris Ward, I think basically we are bringing in players who are getting near to the end of the career. I mean, I'm not saying he's not good. He's not a goal scorer, but really, we should have put our energy into trying to get players that's going to be around for about 6-7 years instead of just paying, what we paid for him. He's near the end of his career. He's in his 30s. It's all right getting some players with experience, but younger players last longer. And basically, 22-year-old players, 22, 23s. Then they've got them quite a long time, but that's the way things are. Some people prefer younger players, especially if Steve Cooper's worked with younger players, under 21s and whatnot. So I thought he would have known basically, what players to go for,
So the last question, one last question, then I'll give you, James. If you could rate Forest's recruitment or transfer window so far out of 10, what would you rate it?
I reckon I'll have to rate it 8.
Okay.
8. We have got some good players coming. What we've been asking for, but what we're trying to get. I'm a bit surprised. That we've got more right backs and left backs. I think basically it's all right. Really, we should have only really got like 3 right backs and 3 left backs, but we don't want to end up having, overdoing it, because otherwise, you got too many. You can't use them all. So you can only use, one of each in each match, unless you got ones that's what are under the age of 21. Plus, you've got the academy players to use as well. So,
Well, James, thank you very much for joining us. Looking forward to chatting to you more very soon. And let's hope we can get some more deals over the line. And maybe that 8 that you rated it can go to a 10.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I do like what the transfer market so far, but I hope the Brennan Johnson thing doesn't fall apart, because otherwise it means we're going to leave us in trouble.
I don't think it will fall apart. I'm very sure that the deal is done now. So
yeah,
but we'll keep you updated anyway. But
okay, mate. Thank you. I'm still saying the thing, and I really appreciate that. Thank you.
No worries. Take care, my friend. That was James, everyone. Thank you so much. And we've got some breaking news for you now. Nottingham Forest have agreed with Norwich for centre-back Andrew Omobamidele, £20 million fee, and now race against the time to get the medical done. It's going to go down to the wire, and we'll be covering it live here on YouTube. Greece goalkeeper Odysseus Vlachodimos has passed his medical and agreed personal terms with Nottingham Forest. He will sign for the club imminently. That's the latest from Rob Dorset at Sky News. But as I say there, fee agreed for Andrew Omobamidele. £20 million. It's a huge fee, and he's obviously a highly rated centre-back. So that's the latest at the moment of Forest. Again, they're about to sign a brand new centre-back, Andrew Omobamidele. Everyone, get ready. Let me know what you think. If you know anything about Omobamidele, please feel free to get in touch and let me know your thoughts on that move. So now let's have a little look at the chat. We've got only less than an hour to go until the end of deadline day. 48 minutes is left on the clock, the deadline day clock. Can Forest get Odysseus Vlachodimos and Andrew Omobamidele over the line before the clock strikes 11 and the window shuts? Can they get those cash sheets in, those deal sheets? Can they do it? Let's wait and see. Who's a player you wish we went for? And for mine, it would be Bella Kochap. Yeah, I think he's just actually left on loan. I think he went to PSV on loan from Southampton. So a good player. I think he's a right back, isn't he? Brennan Johnson tore him inside out. So yeah, good player. I don't know if we really need him. But yeah, Montiel will do good for us. But Bella Kochap, you've got to appreciate the kind of player that Southampton have got there and now PSV have got there. Yeah, excellent player. And Southampton, really, really good recruitment a few years ago has obviously helped them to be able to sell lots of players, but now they're in the Championship. So it's a hard one, really, because to some extent, although they've sold a lot of players and made almost £200 million in sales, they're now in a different league. So they've got to build up, but they'll have the funds to do so. And then they'll have the funds to stay in the Premier League for a long time with that money. Let's have a look. We only care about Sangare. Haha. Well, if we can get the Sangare deal done, as far as I'm aware, it's done and his medical is passed. And he should just be announced probably just before 11 because they're going to keep you waiting. Then that's that. But having a look now at the moment, nothing latest coming in so far. Waiting for more from Fabrizio Romano. And lots of, yeah, as I say, Bella Kochap there to PSV, as we were just talking about a moment ago. Game 3 on 6, they'll get them all done, but I bet announcements will be past 11. Probably. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a player announced at midnight. And I just love the way that the admins announce it. You're all going to be up till 1 in the morning. I hope you know this. If you've got work early tomorrow, like I do, or having to be up early in the morning, yeah, you're going to regret it. I've still got to iron my clothes after this, so yeah, it's going to be a busy one, isn't it? I might just even, to be fair, I might just wear this and just iron this. Hey up, Jamie, you dressed smart tonight, bud. Appreciate that, James. Thank you very much. Feeling good, feeling ready for deadline day. So you've got to dress right, haven't you? You know, I'm not going to turn around because I've got shorts on and the back of it isn't ironed. So yeah, that's good. Do you think we'll get everyone over the line? At the moment, everyone that I've seen linked, I think we'll get them all over the line. Medicals are done for Vlachodimos. Personal terms are agreed. Fees agreed. The only thing now left is to be announced. So that deal is essentially done. Sangare is pretty much done. Omobamidele is the one that we're going to have to wait and see if they can sign him. It's going to go down to the wire. Fabrizio Militaris are good friends, so his info always seems most accurate. Yeah, I don't know the link there, to be honest, but if that is the case, then of course Fabrizio is going to get the most accurate news, which is always good because that's the person that most people do go to. Tottenham Hotspur have officially signed Brennan Johnson. Deal done. Medical complete. Brennan Johnson to Tottenham Hotspur. Here we go. Officially done. Medical complete. And Spurs now just got to announce the player. So that's the deal done. And Brennan Johnson is no longer a Forest player. It hurts a bit. It hurts a bit. I've got to be honest. It hurts a little bit. Yeah, that hurts a little bit. That's not very nice. It's not a nice one, really. Brennan Johnson leaving. Yeah, it's not nice that. He's going to be leaving, as I say. It's rubbish, isn't it? I think it's rubbish. You know, I think that just the goals that he scored and the hope that he gave, goals at Blackpool away, you know, those kinds of goals. And the goals in the semi-final playoff legs, especially that one, him and Joe Lolly together against Sheffield United away. That first playoff leg, was exciting. And but yeah, that this is football. This is the thing about football, because it's sad, but at the same time, as Gaber316 says, we're going to bringing in a lot of players. So you've just got to thank him and just cherish the memories that you have. And now it's about it's about building a new future now. And it's about using the money that we've got from that to buy several players. I mean, the money that we've got is going to buy arguably, a top-class European centre-back, or a European-class centre-back in Sangare. It's going to buy Dominguez. It's going to buy Omar Bamidele now. Murillo. There's a lot of players that are going to be bought based off the fact that we now have the financial security through selling Johnson. And look, Forest have had all these deals ready. Other than Omar Bamidele, that was a bit last minute, they've had all these deals ready because they knew they were going to sell Brennan Johnson, and him going to Spurs was pretty much done a week ago. It was just the last things that they had to get right. So, he's a special player, but this is football. We've got to move on. And as someone said to me, as Dan said to me, Dan, you'll know who you are. You'll love again. You'll love again. And you'll find a player that you will love again. And I just wish Brennan all the best. I wish his family all the best. It's been a real honour to have met him as well, on a couple of occasions. He's met my brother. He's, signed things for him. And my little brother loves Brennan Johnson. So good to see him go. But good luck, Brennan. Good luck at Spurs. Smash it up. Don't score when we play you. And just, thank you for turning up in the bad times. It's as well as the good. Thank you. And good luck to you on your new adventure. So any word on Origi? I'm pretty sure it's done now. It's just a case of being announced, like Sangare. The only one, as I say, that I'm really thinking is going to go down to the wire, and we've only got 40 minutes left, is Andrew Omar Bamidele. Claire, good evening. I hope you're doing well. Bless him. Is that Callum in your profile picture? Bless him. Oh, my goodness. Look how he looks there. Looks so young. But yeah, sorry. I hope you're doing well, Claire. I'll see you very soon. Where's Sangare and Origi? Waiting on the announcement. Be patient, people. We got this. They're coming. It's just going to be a late announcement. Forest are going to make it late. They're doing it on purpose to get your hearts going. I promise you. That's what's going on. Doing it to get your heart going. Brennan Worth is waiting goal playing for us, and his sale will progress us immensely. We owe him a lot, and I wish him all the best. Robert, to be honest, I could not put it better. You've got a lot of money for an academy product, a homegrown player, essentially pure profit, right? We've not bought him off anyone. Played for Dunkirk when he was younger, played in the YEL, who I'm really privileged to be affiliated with, the YEL. And also Dunkirk. I used to play for Dunkirk myself, but I'm not a £50 million player by any means. So, but, he's come through the ranks at Forest, and even when he's seen all of his friends kind of go through the same process in the academy and many of them not make it, he did. And it's the 1% of the 1% for many professional footballers. And then for those that do become pro, it's another 1% that will go on and get sold for more than £1 million. Bear in mind, £50 million. So, how proud his family must be is amazing. So it's the 1% of the 1% of the 1% for him. But he's worked hard, and good luck to him. He deserves it. And big Ange, as they call him, Ange Postecoglou. I've got to be honest, I'm a Forest fan. Everyone knows that. But I do like Ange Postecoglou. Let me know what you think about that. But I really like him. He's nice. He's Australian, so I can't really not like him. Australians are awesome. So, And as Dor says, Johnson deal done. It's confirmed by Sky. So seeing him in a Spurs shirt is going to be a little bit weird. I don't really know if I'm ready for that yet, but it's football, people. This is football. This is what you subscribe to. And he signed his contract, at Tottenham now, and the announcement will happen shortly. So we're going to have a look at Spurs' social media, and despite the previous thing by Daily Mail, he's going to be announced as a brand new Spurs player in a few moments' time. So there ends a chapter, a special chapter, a chapter which oversaw so many goals, so many games, so many celebrations, and arguably some of the most joyous moments in Forest history. And also, by the way, in my 18 years now of life, and for 15 or 16 of them, all I saw was Forest make bad signing after bad signing, loss after loss, beat the occasional big team and lose the next week to a minnow. So many years. Oh, I'll put my train down there. So many years in the Championship, even years in League One, as you all know. And for a player to come and impact us the way that Brennan did, and alongside many others, and to on a personal level, give me some of my best memories ever, and also help me in my career, because without Forest being in the Premier League, who knows? Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I wouldn't have 35 people sitting here now and listening to this. I'd probably only have 4 or 5, or I'd still be doing it. But it's accelerated my career and it's helped me out a lot. But yeah, it's just amazing to see what players like Brennan have given us all personally. They've improved a lot of our mental health, that's for sure. And they've just given us some of our happiest moments with our family. They've given us happy moments with our family. So, yeah, incredible. And as Dan says, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. And that's how it is. So, memories made, memories cherished, memories never to be forgotten. But now it's the time for a new start for this football team. New start for this football team with many new players. And starting with a big day out at Stamford Bridge tomorrow. And don't go in with too many expectations personally. I'm not really expecting to pick up many, if any, points, to be honest. Chelsea are a very formidable opponent, making lots of signings themselves, good signings as well. But it'd be nice to go out and get a point, or who knows, maybe more, and see Taiwo get on the score sheet. It's inevitable, right? So that'd be nice. But what's happened with Shelvey? Nothing at the moment. I don't think he's going to leave. You've only got another just over half an hour to go, so I can't see him leaving in that time. Harry Arter stealing a living. Unfortunately, bad negotiations led to him basically having that privilege. As unfortunate as it is, we shouldn't really have negotiated for a player like that, but that's what they did. So this is getting to the end of the deadline day now. 36 minutes left to go. And just waiting now on an official announcement from Tottenham for Brennan Johnson. But at the moment, looking at Fabrizio Romano's account, Trevor Chalobah's staying at Chelsea. Despite Forest interest, he rejected Forest earlier in the day. He won't move there, or Bayern, because Bayern didn't make a deal happen in time before the German transfer window closed. And Spurs looking like they're ready to make a new player transfer announcement in Brennan Johnson. Let me know if you wanted to come on and have a chat about the latest transfers. This is today's big deadline day stream here on my YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe and like, because at the end of the day, you doing that really means a lot to me, and it also aids the work that I do. So if you want to see more content, and then please like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to share to all your friends as well. Let's get it seen, and let's get the Forest community involved more. Got a lot of Harry Arters wearing work. Yeah, I'm sure we've all got a Harry Arter at work, haven't we? A Harry Arter or two in our workplaces. So let's see. Nothing yet from anyone. It's nice Cooper sorting the midfield and defence out. Yeah, I think Ross Wilson and George Sirianos alongside Mr. Durekas doing a lot of work. And obviously Socrates Kominakis and Evangelos Marinakis providing a lot of funds, also making funds available for these transfers. But there's a clear ambition by the ownership to see this club succeed. And despite all the adversity that Forest faced in signing the likes of Callum Hudson-Odoi with the competition from Fulham and others, and also Ibrahim Sangare, probably most notably, Forest are getting deals done. And in a good frequency as well. So we've got a lot of deals done. When others said they can't, the ownership went and said, yes, we can. and they've done it. So in fairness to them, they've done a great job there. And Cooper obviously knows what he wants, and now he will have that leniency for the fact that he's going to be given a lot of he's going to be given a lot of new players, and he's got to be given time to let them bed in. But at the same time, it's also going to put pressure on him because he knows now that there is no excuse for him not to succeed. He's got all the players he needs. He's got all the depth. Forest now, to me, look like an established Premier League team. They stayed up in that first season by the skin of the teeth to a degree, and now they've built a team to win. It looks good. Thumbs up to the owner. Yep, thank you, Mr. Marinakis. Thank you to your team. The big man wants us to be a success from minute one. Exactly. And he didn't want to stop at anything for that. And people just thought that Forest were going to be a feeder team to Olympiacos, as some said, but quite the opposite. The owner's putting in the hours, he's putting in the money, he's putting in the work to get this team where it needs to be. Has there been a player we were linked with that you hoped to get over the line? Probably a couple, to be honest. I was always interested in Willian, to be honest. I thought he was a really good player that would have been nice. But, seeing that he's more interested in the financial gain and he was almost agreeing a move to Saudi Arabia not long ago says a lot for me. So I don't want a player like that in my team. I know he's 33 and I know he's Brazilian. So obviously there's factors there that would mean that, a Saudi Arabian offer would be more enticing. But not for me. Not interested now. That's at the time I wanted him, but not now. The other ones, Dean Henderson to a degree, but then I don't know, like last month, I kind of gave up hope on it. I just kind of said, I don't really know if I want him or not anymore. And, he's gone to Crystal Palace and fair play to him. Good luck. But I was never really that interested. You're going to get a more experienced goalkeeper now, a little bit older, but Vlachodimos, who's more experienced at the top level than Dean Henderson is and has played in Europe. And so, yeah, I'm not overly bothered that he's gone to Crystal Palace. I think we'll be fine. And if anywhere we need strengthening, it's not really the goalkeeping department. Okay, we do need another goalkeeper, but it wasn't as urgent as the likes of midfield or defence or your fullbacks or even your forwards having that extra forward. So, as much as we like Dean Henderson, I'm not really that bothered, to be fair. Let me know what you think about Dean Henderson, though. Maybe you guys are a little bit more bothered, but never really been that interested. I mean, I say never really been that interested. I've always been wanting him back, but I'm not overly concerned. And looking at Fabrizio at the moment, nothing new on the Forest front. We're still waiting. It's going to go down to the wire, people. It's going to go down to the wire. Andrew Omobamidele still not signed for Forest yet. And a £20 million fee agreed. It's going to be exciting, this. Now, wanted James Garner back? Yeah, we were all at that point, weren't we? I think we wanted James Garner back. It was a shame that he left, but he's doing okay at Everton. He's playing more of a wing-back role now, which is interesting. But, moved on to bigger things. And, James Garner still at Everton. Would he fit in this Forest team now? I don't really think so. I think you've moved on, and that's football. You do move on, and it's going to be like this with Brennan Johnson. As much as it hurts us now, the likelihood is, in a few games' time, you'll be thinking, right, okay, this is a new start for us now. This is a new start, and he'll go and do his thing and build his career, and we'll go and build our future. So, it's about us now. You have to be. You can't be sentimental. As much as it pains people to say, you can't be sentimental. So, yeah, you just can't be sentimental. But, it's that's football, isn't it? So, 47 million quid, though, it's a brilliant deal. It's a brilliant deal. Brilliant deal. And as I say, the players that you're bringing in, the likes of Sangare, and it's excellent. And I remember when I went to go and watch PSV versus Forest, the thing I just saw was a very traditional number 6. He's strong. He puts in a foot. He breaks down that counter-attack, and he puts in a pass. He's brilliant. I've got to give him that credit. He's just a fantastic mover, and you could see it even from that game where it was a little bit less tempo. You could just see the kind of quality midfielder that you're bringing in, and for 35 million euros, not pounds, euros, you can't really go wrong. So Vlachodimos just announced by Nottingham Forest now, it seems. Yeah, and Odysseus Vlachodimos announced as brand new Nottingham Forest goalkeeper on a 4-year deal. And brilliant news for Nottingham Forest. And he signs from Benfica. Bit of a fallout with the coach, people believe. So, interesting. And Vlachodimos joins, Greek goalkeeper. And interesting stuff there. 4-year deal. And writing a little post now at the moment on social media as I speak. And what are your thoughts on the new Greek goalkeeper, people? Let me know. Also join in if you can on the chat, and or maybe even have a chat with me about it. It's great news for Forest. He signs on a 4-year deal. 4-year deal, joins from Benfica, lots of experience. And now the club have announced it. And as I say, new goalkeeper there, probably going to be playing in front of Matt Turner, I would have thought. He would probably go to second goalkeeper, but you never know. He will still have to work for his spot. So it's going to be interesting to see there. But having competition in the goalkeeping area is brilliant, and it's something you like to see. So Vlachodimos there. So if I'm not mistaken now, the only players that Forest are yet to announce that they've been linked with, Andrew Omobamidele, Ibrahim Sangare, and Divock Origi. Not long now. 25 minutes left of the transfer window. That's it. Not very long. If you're looking to jump in on the stream, please let me know. Get your thoughts in. I don't want to do it all by myself, so join me. It'd be great to have any of you on and have a little chat with you about the latest signings. And remember, you can find the stream link or the invite link via here. So make sure you get involved and let me know what you're thinking about the latest transfers. Lots going on at the moment. Lots of information to digest. My hair's going all funny. So it's it's ongoing. Lots of experience. That's it. Lots of experience. And Nick here, just want to say I'm happy you're making content again. Oh, thank you, Nick. I'm going to be honest with you. It's been a long time. It's been too long, and I did make some excuses for not coming back because I didn't feel I was ready to come back yet. But it just feels nice to be back now, and I'm just going to ease myself back in. It's it's just nice. It's just nice. I don't know. I just think sometimes it's I don't really know how I'm going to achieve something or what I'm going to do, and I get a little bit like kind of locked up in my head, and I think, I don't know what to do, and then I just become complacent and I don't do anything about it. So I just said, look, next week let's do a stream. Did the stream, loved it. I'm doing this one, suited and booted, loving it again. So it's just nice to be back. I've got a lot of time now. I'm not at college. I don't know if I should tell you this, but I've applied for a new job today in football commentary, like professionally. So I'm hoping, I can't say any names or anything, but I'm hoping that I can maybe get something from that. I've got work experience at Sky still to go and BBC Radio Nottingham. So just hoping we can do that. And then I can also document it via this and do like little YouTube shorts or whatever they're called. And just do a bit more of that. So let me know like content ideas you want as well, because obviously I'm always looking to, I'm always looking to get a bit of, advice off anyone. So let me know what you're thinking. And I just want to make more content that you guys enjoy. That's what I want. I just want to make content that you enjoy, because at the end of the day, I do it because of you guys. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. PSV players just walked in. Ibrahim Sangare is at the City Ground. It's nearly done. Get ready because they're going to announce it soon. They're going to announce it at probably about 11:30, midnight. They're going to announce it. As soon as the clock strikes done at 11 o'clock, I'm going to stay for 5 minutes, answer any dying questions. Then I'll be off YouTube. Go to my YouTube as well because I'll be, my Instagram is JamieMartin_journalist. So if you've got your phones out now, just quickly head over to Jamie Martin _journalist on Instagram. Drop me a follow because I'll be posting all the latest news there after I finish my stream. So you probably can't see this. Jamie Martin _journalist. Go and follow it there quickly, and you'll get all the latest transfer news. I promise you. You better be better than Gary Neville. Well, it's more of a main commentator, so it'd be more like Peter Drury or something like that. So yeah, I'm very lucky that I have him as a mentor to me because he gives me advice. So, but yeah, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, I like him. I think they're quite cool. Hopefully you get the job. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's just fingers crossed for me now. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping myself. I'm a little bit nervous, but we'll have to wait and see. Good about Jono from a heart point of view, but your head is excited. That's it. That's football. That's what football does to you. It just does that. Greg Davis, love the profile picture. Look at that. Did you hear any more news on the women's team getting? Wow. Yeah, you almost got me there. Well done, Greg. You almost got me there. The profile picture fooled me. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. After game videos. Yeah, I'm going to do like post-match reviews, pre-match reviews. Going to be doing a lot on my Instagram. So make sure you head over to my Instagram and also my Facebook, which is just J Martin Journalist on Facebook. So I'll be doing pre-match and post-match. I won't be doing a half-time, just pre-match, post-match. And then maybe a little bit of like a write-up at half-time or something on my story. But yeah, head over to my Instagram, head over to my my Facebook for more of that. That's going to be more up-to-date kind of stuff because I'm not on Twitter anymore, or at the moment until I'm on suspended. So in the meantime, Twitter and Facebook. Get on there. We're all going on a European tour. You can only hope, couldn't you? Aston Villa have done it. Brighton have done it. Why can't we? Be optimistic. Be optimistic. Come on, Forest announced Sangare. I know we can have a sangria after I'm 18 now, so we can have that. Greek keeper, £7 million. Good deal for 4 years. Absolutely. You're bringing in a lot of experience for £7 million. You're bringing in a goalkeeper that's got hundreds of games for Benfica. Numerous European tournament appearances. He's just a brilliant signing all over. So, yeah, I'm very excited. Very, very excited. So, looking forward to see what goes on there. But as I say, Instagram, follow the Instagram, Jamie Martin _journalist. You can kind of see there. Drop us a follow. I know a couple of you have already, so really appreciate that. If you're looking to jump on the stream, click the link. Let's talk. I've gone through the squad depth. If all the signings come off and the balance looks really good, I agree. New centre-backs, new full-backs, new midfielders, new forwards. If I'm being honest, I think this has been a really, really good transfer window. And I can't see us needing to do much work in winter, which is really helpful as well. So, and any last bits we do need to do in winter, I think there'll be more outgoings than incomings, to be honest. I'm surprised there hasn't been as many outgoings. But remember, some windows are still open for the rest of the week. You and Garibaldi Red are non-critical, the only non-critical Forest stream on YouTube. Keep going, brother. Appreciate that, Robert. Look, I try to keep it as non-critical as I can. Obviously, I'm going to question Cooper's tactics. I'm going to praise Cooper's tactics. I'm going to question someone's scoring abilities, and I'm going to praise someone's scoring abilities. So I'll always be fair, but I'll always be honest. That's just the way I am. And I'll never, ever go in to insult someone because at the end of the day, footballers are humans, managers are humans, staff are humans. They don't deserve abuse, but constructive criticism should always be allowed. Always. And it's your opinion, isn't it, at the end of the day? Thank you. I know who you are. Hope you're doing good, Cameron. Turner will be number 1. Interesting. Who do you think will be number 1? New goalkeeper or Matt Turner? Let me know what you're thinking. Get in the comments. Let's have a think. Remember, like and comment as well. Let's make sure that everyone gets to see this video. 20 minutes left of the deadline day. Oh, it's getting exciting, isn't it? It's getting exciting. And if you're listening, the Forest Kit Man, appreciate your comment. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Oh, last 20 minutes. Interesting. Best transfer window. Good transfer window. New guy. Yeah, not too critical. You shouldn't be too critical. Everyone makes mistakes in their lives and they don't like being, reminded of them. So it's always good to constructively criticize and maybe, say something that will motivate them a bit. Because at the end of the day, when people say, "Oh, I don't want Nuno Tavares at Forest," I don't want Chris Wood at Forest. Or, these players that they've say, I say, well, if they do join Forest, then give them a pat on the back and sing their name. Because regardless of whether you wanted them to join or not, it doesn't matter. It's all about, at the end of it, it's all about the fact that they're a Forest player now. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. They're a Forest player. You get behind them and you support them. If they're a Forest player, you support them. If they're a Derby player, you don't. That kind of thing. So, support anyone who puts on that Forest shirt, gets on that pitch. So give them the full support, whether you wanted them to sign or not. Let's just give them that vote of confidence that they need to succeed at Forest. So Cameron says here, Divock Origi to be announced soon, and Sangare has just arrived at the world-famous City Ground. Interesting stuff. So it's nearly time for... it's nearly that time. Nearly time to arrive at Origi. So, going to be exciting. People didn't want Aurier. Look at Nick, absolutely. People didn't want him. They said he was a bad influence. They said his attitude was awful. I'd argue that he's got an elite mentality that has changed games for us. From that first appearance at Leicester away, he's been brilliant. Brilliant. And he showed kind of the level of experience and, that strength that he possesses. Yes, Jay, back the boys in Garibaldi regardless of the name on the back. That's it. Regardless of the name on the back. Imagine every player has a red shirt on with no name on. Faces blurred, everything. You'd just support them because they're in a red shirt, wouldn't you? So don't let the name change that. Don't let the name change that. Get behind your team. Because we've got a big season coming, because despite how good this transfer window has been, and it's been brilliant so far, and it's going to get even better, we're not done yet. Still got another big season, and the Premier League is not an easy league. What about the fella from Norwich, Andrew Omobamidele? Well, we don't know yet at the moment. There's nothing in the latest. The latest that we heard was from Rob Dorsett at Sky was that a deal of £20 million had been agreed, but we don't know whether they're going to be able to seal the deal just yet. So we're just waiting at the moment. And so Sangare done, Origi done, Vlachodimos announced. At the moment, really, Omobamidele is the one that is going to go down to the wire and could potentially not join Forest. So we're just waiting to see whether that can get over the line. Let's hope. Why are people saying Cooper out? It's just their opinion, I think. It's just their opinion. At the end of the day, I don't agree with people that say Cooper out, but they're entitled to their opinion and they'll have their reasons. And tactically, been a little bit, not quite brilliant at times, but all the times he has been, I think he got it right at Sheffield United. I just didn't think the players pulled their weight particularly. So, everyone has their reasons. Some people say he's out of his depth, some others won't. But that's their opinion, and I respect their opinion completely, as long as they respect mine. Has there been anything about the Leicester player, Ndidi? I've not seen anything at all, to be honest. There's people saying that he's signing, but no major reports at the moment saying anything. So, but it's a waiting game. It's a waiting game. Who knows? Indeed, he could sign, but to be honest, I can't see it. There's only 15 minutes left of the deadline. So unless a deal sheet's gone in and they've got till 1 a.m., I can't see anything happening. Patson Dako was meant to join Bournemouth, but that deal's off. Leicester won't be selling him. And that's the latest, really, of things that concern us. Athens wasn't built in a day, says, see, sneaky stuff there. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Don't think he's coming. I don't think indeed he will probably come. Are there any failed rumours which you wish had come through? I kind of briefly answered it earlier, but I did like Willian at the time, but I'm not keen now, obviously, knowing what we know. So I'm trying to think, really, of deals that failed. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't really know. I'm not really too fussed. I think we've done really well. So yeah, I don't really know if there's much need for for that really. So yeah, it's. I think we've done really well. I don't really think there's anything really I'd change. And for anything that's fallen through, I'm not too interested, to be honest. Not too interested. I'm happy with what we got now. Not sure there's room for Ndidi, I agree. And I'm not overly keen on Ndidi coming anyway, because after his injury, he just seemed to lack that quality that he used to have. And I was speaking to someone who's a Birmingham fan. They said he'd slot into any team in the Premier League. And I said, that's before his injury, maybe, but no, I'm not that interested. Another comment that's come in: Divock Origi will be on loan with an option to buy from AC Milan. So wait for that very soon. Iheanacho could have done a job, but AFCON would be an issue. I agree. I think it's smart going for Iheanacho because of the fact that, I mean, let's be right. Iheanacho's a very, very good striker, but you've got that AFCON problem. And Divock Origi's got a lot of Prem experience himself. He scores your goals in those clutch moments. And he's a bit of a nuisance, as someone mentioned earlier. So, it's not a pairing necessarily to Taiwo, but someone that can play as a second fiddle or backup or whenever we need him. Origi's a good signing for me. And you've still got Chris Wood there as well, who's only signed up till next summer. So, it's interesting. But we've got a lot of options now. We've got a lot of options, including on the wings as well. And also, if you're going to play that 5-3-2 and you need Morgan Gibbs-White, you've still got the versatility that Callum Hudson-Odoi offers and Elanga offers to kind of replace for Morgan Gibbs-White if you need him to. I think Elanga probably not so much, but Hudson-Odoi can play that cam role. So, it'd be interesting. But the clock is ticking, people. The clock is ticking. There's only 11 more minutes left of the transfer window. We haven't got long at all. We have not got long at all. And Forest still looking to seal the deal on some transfers. Almost done. And as I say, I'll only be on the stream for maybe a minute or two after the deadline day window closes, because otherwise I will not be. Just looking at the Odysseus Vlachodimos announcement video. So as I say, I'll probably be on the stream and say for probably a minute, maybe, and then I'll be off for more transfer updates on my Instagram. So you can follow my Instagram. That is Jamie Martin _journalist. 30 of you on here at the moment. Please follow if you can. And as I say, Odysseus Vlachodimos is a Forest player now officially. I'm waiting on more. Let me know what your thoughts are. It's so difficult trying to talk because we're all, and I'm just like you are. I'm like a kid in a toy shop. I'm just waiting for those new players. So I'm hopefully going to be doing like a written kind of look at all the new Forest players and, kind of doing a little profile on them. So hoping for that to come out maybe early next week. So do stick around and I'll be bringing you more of that. If all the documents are signed and handed in for Andrew, will it be okay if we reveal him tomorrow? I believe so, yeah. I can't see it because if he's going to be at the City Ground, they're going to do media no matter what time it is. The thing is, the deal sheet does have to be in 10 minutes' time. So if the deal sheet's not in 10 minutes, that won't get done. It's not an international transfer, so there won't be leniency in that respect. Deal sheet has to be in before 11, between 9 and 11, and then he'll have 1 a.m. So let's wait and see how that is. But again, a player you don't need to register. It gives a lot of options for that 25-man squad. A lot of options, and it's a bit less of a headache for Steve Cooper and his team when deciding. But a couple of players could still go out on loan, and a couple of players I think will probably leave in January. The likes of Biancone, it'd be interesting to see whether he actually gets a start or not. But I don't think we're going to see much of Biancone when you've got all this competition. But this is the best thing about it. He's got players competing for places. So, as much as it's frustrating for the likes of Biancone, I'm sure, it will be a case of now, look, you're going to be able to, fight for your place. And even though there is good players like Murillo being bought in, it's still... It doesn't mean that you're guaranteed a place. So, we're going to have a quick look now at the moment on Fabrizio's page. And as I say, do keep here. And Daniel Levy, no, I think the deal is done. It is 100% done. So don't stress about that. It's 100% done. It's just waiting on an announcement now from Spurs. So that's up to their media team. And actually, our old head of media now works at Spurs. So you'll know Brennan Johnson. Sangare failed eye test, maybe. Yeah, I've heard that one before. Bianconi in the same boat as Richards, need a good loan move. Yeah, I think that's probably going to happen. It wouldn't surprise me if he was loaned back to France, maybe with one of his old teams, but he does need game time. And I'm struggling to see now where he fits in. We've got that many fullbacks and that many centre-backs that even his versatility might not really be necessary or needed unless there's a lot of injuries. Touch wood, there isn't, please. So 8 minutes left of deadline day. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. And as I say, remember, it will not be quite an abrupt end when it turns 11, but I'll only be on here for a minute. So if you want more up-to-date info, head over to my Instagram, JamieMartin_journalist. I'll be bringing you the latest, sorry, I've got a cough, the latest news over there. So follow me on Instagram and I'll be able to bring you more of that. So then, what's the latest? It's exciting, isn't it? Nothing new at the moment. We're waiting on Omobamidele to sign for Nottingham Forest. And Sangare waiting to be announced. Nothing at the moment from Forest yet. We're still waiting for more. 7 minutes left to go. And my phone kindly reminded me I've got a Spanish lesson to do. Ignore that. We've still got another, as I say, just under 7 minutes to go now. It's edging closer. And the big question is, have Forest put in that deal sheet for Andrew Omobamidele? He's the Norwich centre-back, only 21 years of age, and a player that Forest hoping to get over the line in the next 6 minutes. 6 minutes time. Deadline's getting closer. In 7 minutes time, Brennan Johnson will be unveiled as a new Tottenham Hotspur player. They're going to do it bang on 11 o'clock. And I can imagine that Forest will probably do the same very soon. I keep saying Toby. I don't know why I keep saying Toby. It's because there's a name. I don't know why I keep saying it, but it's a similar name to someone else. And Brennan Johnson, as I say that, being announced as a new Tottenham Hotspur player. 7 minutes time. Bang on 11 o'clock. And Fabrizio, a little bit late there, as he says Vlachodimos has just signed for Forest. It's a little bit late. What are your thoughts on the £20 million fee? It's a lot, I'm going to be honest. They've wanted £20 million since, well, forever, pretty much. They've wanted £20 million for a long time. So, yeah, it's a lot of money for a player that's untested in the Premier League, really. He's got a lot of experience in the Championship and also internationally, so I suppose that's a benefit, really. But yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So I'm not going to judge just yet, but it's a lot of money to spend on a centre back that hasn't really got a lot of Premier experience. But obviously, the scouting team have been looking at him for the last, probably wouldn't surprise me, the last 12 months, really, maybe just under 12 months, because they've been scouting him for that long and they've had that interest. So yeah, good player, but £20 million, we'll just have to wait and see. How does Fabrizio find his news? He's big on social media, so agents will feed him stuff. People that work at clubs will feed him stuff. The club will feed him stuff as well. Clubs work together with him. You know, that's how big he is now in this game. So it's what he does. It's what he does. Appreciate this. Thank you very much. Wise beyond my ears. I get it all the time. With my music tastes usually get people saying that. So thank you very much, Big Mark. Appreciate that, my friend. Think McKenna and Worrell will be in trouble for centre-back roles. Just like every other player that has now had competition put in their position, they've got to fight for their place. That's just how it goes. So they've now got to fight for their place, and that's just how it is. So if you know, it'll be testimony to their to them now if they can get back in the team. You know, after all this, so let's see. It's all about competition. It's all about competition. So Forest have said thank you to Jono now, Brennan Johnson. So it's official. And you can probably hear my dog now. I'm hoping that she becomes quiet. But Brennan Johnson, many years, I think it's 14 years at Nottingham Forest, and many happy years at the club. And I wish my dog would shut up. Do my blooming head in. And there you go. Brennan Johnson leaves Forest officially. It's done. And he officially joins Spurs as part of a £47 million deal. And sources saying now, well, reports saying on the wire that the deal sheet for the Norwich player could be in. Still waiting to find out more, though. 2 minutes until the deadline closes. We're nearly done. We're nearly done. Forest have said their thank yous to Brennan Johnson. That deal is done officially before the deadline closes. Brennan Johnson is no longer a Forest player. He's officially joined Spurs and is going to be announced in 2 minutes' time. Spurs have just posted a crossbow. God, that hurts. That's not nice. None of us thought it would happen at the start of the window. We thought we might get away with it, but it'll be interesting yet to see Brennan's farewell to Forest statement. Spent all of his childhood at Forest, so, you know, good luck to him. Good luck. And let's see if Andrew Omobamidele is going to sign. 1 minute left of the deadline. Deadline day is almost at a close. And as I say, I am going to be ending the stream only a minute after the end of deadline day because I'll be going on to Instagram and doing more Instagram live. Well, not Instagram live, but live updates on Instagram. So get onto my Instagram, JamieMartin_journalist. I'll be bringing you more there very shortly. And we're looking now the final moments of deadline day. Here we go. The clock is about to strike 11 and deadline day is officially done in a moment's time. And deadline day is done. That's it. That's the end of the deadline. Nottingham Forest hoping that they've got the deal sheet in for Andrew Omobamidele. But as far as it stands now, Sangare is done. Origi is done. Waiting on announcements for both of those players. Head over to my Instagram. I'll be bringing you live updates as we announce the signings of those players. But for now, that's all from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Looking forward to hearing more of your opinions. And we will be back streaming soon. There's a stream every Sunday night now. So that's definite unless it's a match day. So every Sunday night, 8 o'clock, we'll be here. But we'll also be back midweek as well. So do stick around. We'll see you all very soon. But all from me, the suit and tie, the headphones and everything. Take care. Goodbye and good night. And thank you for watching this transfer deadline day stream. See you all very soon.